We are here. It is time for something a little different. It's Shadows of the Galaxy preview season. That means we're getting previews. And I, thanks to FFG, managed to scramble together two really neat previews. I've got a heroism preview and I've got a villainy preview. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Our first card is a card we expected to see in the first set, and it didn't manage to get in there, but it is in Shadows of the Galaxy. It's pretty neat, and shout out to Y-Wing Scum, because this was one of two things they wanted to see in set one. It's a little late, but it's an interesting card. We have here Gray Squadron Y-Wing, a 2-cost heroism only space unit, 1 power, 3 health, rebel vehicle fighter. On attack, an opponent chooses a unit or base they control. You may deal 2 damage to it. This is a common, number 246 out of 262 in SHD. What do Y-Wings do? They bomb things. The Gray Squadron Y-Wing is a bomber, and that's what it does, even though it says fighter, but that's obviously the small class of ship. Regardless, we have here a unit that fits in the same mesh as the Alliance X-Wing. We did get the Green Squadron A-Wing, which was present in the Death Star 2. That's what this was in the first set. And then now we have the Gray Squadron Y-Wing, which is here as just a basic heroism unit. Obviously, its stats are nothing necessarily to snuff at, but if you can get multiple attacks off on this guy and your opponent's units are already all gone, you're just bombing the base over and over. This is a very interesting card. I imagine this will actually see some play in the lower to the ground Rebel decks, whether that's Sabine or Leia, but ultimately, the Gray Squadron A-Wing is a neat little fighter that's going to get out there, bomb some things, and hopefully survive to be able to continue doing some bombing runs. Next, in a set called Shadows of the Galaxy, that's supposed to be about bounty hunters and scum and villainy and scavengers and all the other seedy elements of the galaxy that are on the outskirts and the outer rim in the shadows, as it were, somehow Palpatine returned. We have here Palpatine's Return, a 6-cost command villainy force plan event. Play a unit from your discard pile. It costs 6 less. If it's a force unit, it costs 8 less instead. This is a rare, number 94 out of 262 in SHD. That unit you thought you got rid of, that's 6 cost or less, it's back, baby, for 6. If it's a force unit, say an Emperor Palpatine or a Darth Vader, it costs 8 less and just comes right back out. Palpatine's returning a Vader is just, and for 6 too, is just an absolute soul-crushing move. And the interesting portion of it is that if Vader goes to the discard pile for any other reason, let's say you discard the top card of your deck because of Greedo, or your opponent mills you with Vigilance. If you're on 6 and that Vader's in the discard pile, Palpatine Returns can bring him out a round early, which is just nuts. Somehow, They slotted this card into this set to be able to make the joke, somehow Palpatine Return. Palpatine's Return returns fallen units to your side of the board from the discard pile. This is a great card, actually. It seems to be a fairly fair costed recursion card. You're still losing a card from him. You're still paying about the same for the unit, unless it's a force unit, but even still, 1 less for Vader or 2 less for the Emperor isn't necessarily a huge deal, especially considering the fact you probably already got that out on the board. But that surprise, boom, here's my 6 cost, Palpatine electrocutes your board, or boom, here's my 6 cost, Vader brings back another unit, say a Piet or whatever. You just end up having a lot of value out of this one card. This card is going to see a lot of play, especially in command villainy decks, because it is obviously command villainy. I think that this is going to be run quite often in something like Krennic, because you can recur your fusions. Maybe even, what's his name? Gideon might want to end up using this. Obviously, because he's running mostly 3 costs, that doesn't help him his overall strategy, but because he is both command and villainy, you can stuff your Darth Vader in the deck, and then Palpatine's Return it right back out. It's nuts. This card's nuts. This card is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And that's all she wrote today for Star Wars Unlimited. 2 great preview cards. That Gray Squadron Y-Wing, again, shout out Y-Wing Scum. Palpatine's Return somehow returning into this set, making everything just that much more. You thought you had stuff gone. It's not gone. You thought you progressed. There's no progression against Palpatine. It's just zap, 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 zap. Thank you once again to FFG for these previews, giving me the opportunity to showcase this to you all. I hope this was quick enough for you to be able to get that out there and get these previews going. Lots of exciting stuff coming out of Shadows of the Galaxy. Stay tuned tomorrow for our normal action phase video, and then Wednesday for our coverage of all last week's previews. They're flying fast and free. Xander is just throwing previews wherever he can get them, and I'm trying to catch them as they come, and there's so many, sometimes I can't catch them all. So, but with that said, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like and comment on this video. Subscribe to this lovely Star Wars Unlimited YouTube channel. You know how to show support. Check out any of my playlists for Star Wars Unlimited. We have a new series coming out closer towards the release of Shadows of the Galaxy. Stay tuned for that. And with that, we're done. Again, thank you, FFG, for these lovely previews. And with that, I will see you in the stars.